I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Unity. Please stand as you are able and join us in singing "This House is Built on Love." Welcome to the sacred space. Welcome to this sacred space. See the joy on every face. See the joy on every face. This house is built on love. This house is built on love. This house is built on love. Leave your burdens at the door. Leave your burdens at the door. You're not a stranger anymore. You're not a stranger anymore. This house is built on love. This house is built on love. This house is built on love. This is the time in our service to turn to someone standing next to you and say good morning. Say it loud, say it clear. Say it loud and say it clear. We're so happy that you're here. We're so happy that you're here. This house is built on love. This house is built on love. This house is built on love. This house, this house, this house, this house, this house. house is built on love. This house, this house is built on love. This house, this house is built on love. This house is built on love.
Team, led by our Minister of Music, the Reverend Sue Riley. And happy Memorial Day weekend. We honor the memory of the many brave souls who served our nation and its allies. If you have served, please rise to be honored at this time. We thank you for your service. Let's be mindful now of all who are now serving in defense of the nation and its allies around the world. We honor your dedication and courage. Truly, both synagogues, Congregation Beth Shalom and Temple B'nai Israel, have made us feel very much at home all these months. We'll be here at CBS for the next few weeks. Last week, my brother Russ, who spent a long day helping with sound for a concert at Temple B'nai Israel, got to chat with Rabbi Josh LaBelle, who's about to begin his dream job in New Jersey at the campus of Rutgers University with 6,400 Jewish undergraduate students. And here, folks at TBI will enthusiastically welcome Rabbi Michael Bernholtz, whose father is a rabbi emeritus at a synagogue in Tampa. We're happy for both congregations and will welcome Rabbi Michael as our new interfaith partner. Site work at UCC's campus is starting. The school hopes for its partial certificate of occupancy in the next couple weeks. When our tech team says all is ready, we can move our services back to our former sanctuary while our new church home is being built. We are so grateful for all of our teammates and spiritual family for staying with us through this exciting time. Our Wings group and Bible classes resume after summer break. For now, please join Letty on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for a half hour of peaceful meditation and for the open table talk on Zoom at noon on Thursdays. The links are on our weekly e-news, and you can sign up for that at the welcome table. Prayer requests are kept in confidence and loving prayer for at least 30 days by our ministry team. Now, let's speak our opening statements together. There is only one presence and one power, everywhere and always, God the good, omnipotent, and God is love. In our unity of purpose, we are guided by infinite wisdom, renewed by abundant life, and prospered by divine love. Today's daily word lesson is from 1987. And we affirm, let there be peace on earth and goodwill for all. A loving, understanding belief in mind and heart is the first step toward achieving peace in my own life and throughout the earth. Through affirmative prayer, I attain peace within, and I also contribute to the consciousness of peace seekers the world over. Beginning right now, I make it my goal to maintain peace and harmony in all my interactions with others. I envision the world as peace-filled and harmonious, with people in each country working together to achieve and maintain unity and understanding. With faith and conviction, I know that peace becomes a reality as I reaffirm, let there be peace on earth and goodwill for all. I join in a worldwide consciousness of peace. I am united with all people in a spirit of love and understanding that manifests itself in all areas of my life and in all regions of the world. We read in Numbers, "The Lord look upon you kindly and give you peace." And so it is. Now, Reverend Cynthia Mackey, UCC's Minister of Education, will lead our Lord's Prayer.
Good morning, friends. In unity, when we speak of heaven, we mean the awareness of the presence of God everywhere and always. As our thoughts come into accord with divine ideas, we dwell in peace and become true peacemakers. Our way-shower taught us to pray in this way. Together, Our Father in heaven, holy is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us as we forgive others. Leave us not in doubt, but deliver us from error. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Now let's enjoy a time of meditation together.
God is in everything I see. God is wherever I may be. God is the life in you and me. God is I am. God is in everything I see. God is wherever I may be. God is the life in you and me. God is I am.
Let's become still now in body and spirit as we close our outer eyes and gently go within for a time of meditation. With every breath, we feel stress dissolving as we let our faces relax. We feel our shoulders just relax and become free of tension. We let our arms and hands rest quietly, completely relaxed. We become centered in a deep, abiding, tranquil peace. God is, I am. We are attuned to real peace, enduring peace of mind and heart, blessing our lives. This is the peace we have always been seeking, consciously or unconsciously, throughout our lives, throughout this week. Here in the silence, we find the secret of strength, resilience, and recovery. Here we find the source of the light in our eyes, the length of our days, the harmony in our lives. In this consciousness, we sense the shelter of infinite peace and blessedness. We let go of anxious thoughts of conflict and dwell in healing thoughts of restoring peace. Let this serene atmosphere now enfold us and bless us, all our dear ones, and all people everywhere, as we pray in the silence. In the way of the ancient blessing, we now affirm, the Lord bless you and keep you. God shines upon you and is gracious unto you. The Lord looks upon you kindly and gives you peace. We give thanks for answered prayer. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
God is in everything I see. God is wherever I may be. God is the life in you and me. God is I am. God is in everything I see. God is wherever I may be. God is the life in you and me. God is I am.
How beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Perfect. Just what I needed this morning. I know you've noticed. I want you to meet Arias, a young piano student who is quite an excellent musician. We're glad he's here. Thank you. We are delighted to be here. And you know Patrick, who's just joined us on bass right over here. And that's Patrick's bride over there in the blue at Paula. You can wave. There you go. Hi. We are together in prayer. And that, I think, is our answer to many folks that have asked us, how in the world do you do it? How do you get up on Sunday morning and put on your jacket or whatever you got to put on and keep going? Because it's what we do. And it is important that unity continue as we understand it, and we continue to develop that understanding. We are in prayer. And what does that mean? We're not beseeching God. God already knows every name. We're not insisting to God. We're not bargaining with God. We're agreeing with God. That's what we're doing. So we are prayer partners with Laurie Kelly, whom I visited this week. Laurie is in a new phase of her life and beginning a new bridge. We're mindful of Eddie and also Ed, two different gentlemen. We see them in the light, and they are safe. Russ, who gets stitches out on Tuesday, Rocco and Nancy, Laurie and Barbara, Patrice, who's healing, Brian Miller, who did very well in surgery, Bob, and Dave. And Dave, too, is in a new phase of life, very, very dear. Kim and Gay Jeffries, who is healing beautifully. We spoke this week. Catherine and Henry Young, Tom Young's brother. We see Henry in the light. Mary Ann McLean, the mother of Mary Haviland, and Jim Whitford, a friend of the Wallens. That's Jim and Sandy. Lauren Radin and her family, Tom Ivins, cousin of Nancy Simmons, and Eleanor Wilson, who is 95 and in hospital at the moment, and more concerned about others than even herself. She asks us to keep her daughter Eileen in loving thought. Her little girl is 74. And she is strong in spirit. We are also with Shannon and her brother, and Babs, who had successful surgery. She's on the mend, and her friend Bill is helping her. We are mindful of Roberta and Roger and Patrice, and also a gentleman that called yesterday. His name is Wilkins. He's from the islands. We were able to help and pray with him. We see him in the light. We're also mindful of Papa William Gribble Sr. His celebration of life will be this coming Saturday, and we'll be at National Cremation, gathering there. God bless that family. They are absolutely wonderful. We see Marianne healing, And we're also mindful of another Marianne, that is Nikki's mom. Nikki, hi darling. Her mom recently made transition, and that always signals a new phase of life. When our mothers or our fathers move on, we think about them and ourselves in a new way. So we are in the light together. We're also mindful of Bhante Dhammawancha, our neighbor, who leads the Dhamma Wheel Meditation Society, Buddhist monk for 50 years now. He just returned from Sri Lanka, and Russ was helping to see that his air conditioning would work again. When you're in Sri Lanka, I don't know if you miss it so much, but when you're in Florida, you gotta have it, right? Gotta have it. So we're mindful of all the people of the earth. We're thinking of everyone everywhere, whether they are in chaos or conflict, whether they're fighting with us or on the good side or fighting against us. We're all God's children, and the sooner we all realize that together, the sooner will peace break out sudden and gentle like the dawn. We affirm wisdom, strength, and prosperity for Southcrest Development, for the Discovery Academy of Science, for Dhamma Wheel, for Bill Botelho, our contractor, and for the city of Clearwater and all the neighbors. We just love them, love them, love them. They were worried about extra traffic when the school is open, so the county that manages Nursery Road, it's a county road, saw to it they all got little signs stuck in front of their houses that say no parking. Now they're mad about the signs. I don't blame them. It's like, before you complain, think about what could happen. All the way around. And we are especially mindful today of our dear Mary Elliott, who is the sister of our spirit. She's been singing with this congregation for over 30 years, and always such a bright spirit. Her daughter Jenny has been told that her days, in outer sense, may seem to be numbered. So Mary is going to find a way to go and be with her, which is right and good. She's going to take time to do that in Gainesville. But we're not sure what God has planned for her resources to take care of her time there. And if you feel so led, let me know, and we'll find a way for you to help. We are grateful. Mary asked for nothing, but we ask and affirm life and peace for this dear family and her son, Danny, who spoke with me yesterday. We're also mindful of Violet, as she is Arias' sweetheart, and she is a strong and serene soul. As we begin this morning with our service preparation, we chose to talk about peace today. And when I picked the title some time ago, I thought surely we'll have peace by then. We all feel that. And then I began to realize that just like everything else we teach in unity, that peace starts where? Right here. Right here. So our responsive reading will highlight the lyrics that our music team is going to share with you. I'll read the Bible parts that I selected to go with it. This is from the book of Baruch. You don't often come across it. It's rather magical. Had you walked in the way of God, you would have dwelt in enduring peace. Learn where prudence is, where strength, where understanding, that you may know also where you are. Where are your length of days and life, light of the eyes, and peace. Here's our response. Listen first. One life, one love, one peace in our lifetime.
One life, one love, one peace in our lifetime.
One life at a time.
One life at a time.
And this from Isaiah, thousands of years ago. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. One nation shall not raise the sword against another, nor shall they train for war again. Or as the old gospel goes, ain't gonna study war no more. Here's our response. Listen first. One truth, one world, one peace in our lifetime.
One truth, one world, one peace in our lifetime.
One life at a time.
One life at a time.
From Jeremiah, the ancient prophet. I am bringing recovery and healing. I will heal them and reveal to them an abundance of lasting peace. Here's our response. One life, one love, one life at a time. One life at a time. And this that Cynthia quoted too. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you kindly and give you peace. Here's the response. One voice, one choice, one peace in our lifetime, one life at a time. Enjoy this powerful music. I think we'll all be humming that song throughout the day. Thank you all so much. One life at a time. It's a powerful song. And we know it, one life at a time. I find that when I'm home and I don't turn on the news, to which I seem to be sort of weirdly addicted, so I guess I like to hear myself go, oh no, over and over again. We do have to watch that subtle crisis addiction that we may have as a collective. Are we really together? When I first started studying Hebrew, it was probably about 10 years ago, and no, I still don't really know the whole alphabet, so I started as a beginner. I'm still a beginner. But I was told this story that someone came new to a congregation and saw that at the end of the service, some people were standing up for the final song, some were sitting down, and the others were just arguing back and forth, and then everybody argued about whether they're supposed to sit down, stand up the whole time. And so they said, well, what's the tradition? And they said, well, I don't know, let's ask the oldest member, someone that's been here the longest, they really know the routine. So they went out to see this distinguished man, and they said, what's the tradition? Stand up? Some people are standing up, some people are sitting down. He said, yes. They said, no, that can't be it. Everybody's fighting. They're crabbing at each other constantly. He said, oh, that's the tradition. And I guess that's one reason we all know we need peace. We need peace to meet with change. We need peace when we learn of a dear one's transition, when they're not with us and we wish they were, when we want to be somewhere and we can't go through time and space yet, and there's a feeling of sorrow. Oh, we want peace of mind, desperately. People used to love when we sang, "Let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me." Nice song, right? And if you go to Disney World or Epcot Center, I think they play a version of that at the end. But we were using that for a long, long time. Most Unity churches, or many, use it, but some have begun to report that people are arguing, do we hold hands, do we not hold hands, put our hands up, put our hands down. When I first came to Unity of Clearwater in 1981, I just naturally reached out for hands, and they hadn't done it before. And so some people whispered to me later, we feel like holy rollers if we do that. Holy rollers. Well, the other reason is that people could never agree on the lyrics. And the people who wrote the song and owned the rights to it had an insistence about what we could change and what we couldn't change. We wanted to be gender insensitive, we wanted to be universal, we wanted to change a word here and there. Instead of father, we wanted to say father, mother. Oh, no, can't do that. So we didn't want to misrepresent the song, so we wrote other songs. But every time you hear it, just know that although the people that wrote it didn't write it for unity, it's still a good song. It's still a good idea. Let there be peace. Let it begin with me. I've been so into that. In the 60s and beginning of the 70s, so long ago, we didn't have paper to write on in school. We just drew on cave walls. It was interesting. And grand times. But no dental care. I remember that. Anyway, I marched for peace in Vietnam. I respect those who served there. Not an easy task. Hard for everyone. But I wanted there to be peace, and I guess we all do always. We'd like peace in Ukraine. We'd like peace in the Middle East. And you probably know that old joke, is even older than me, where the guy says, well, I get a wish from you, God? You said you'd grant my wish? Yes. Well, I'd like to have peace in the Middle East. He goes, oh, do you realize that there are factions and differences and historical issues and conflicts that you can't even understand? It's not something I could really do. Pick another thing. He said, well, I want to know what women want. He said, show me this map again. It's never been easy. Isn't it strange, and we often say this, that it's the place that shows the conjunction of major religions of the earth. There's war. And we like to think of Jerusalem, which means the heart of peace, city of peace, as being the innate nature of that city of many births of many religions. And it doesn't look peaceful now. See those scenes of war on the news? When Vietnam was happening, it was the first time in many people's collective memory when they were able to witness a little taste of the true horrors of war. And my generation came out with that song, War. Oh, what is it good for? Yeah. I think when you're young, things seem harder in a way. You feel more responsible. But in my case, and yours too, we have a few more years and then we feel more responsible and more concerned about it. And there's always something. That was my favorite thing that Rosanna Dana used to say. Is just one thing after another, always something. But in my house, with the news off and the air conditioning set just right, so I pretend it's paradise, and it is. I'm all alone, and if I forget where my phone is, that happens. At least I didn't put it in the refrigerator like I did my car keys once. That's a danger sign, Don't do that. But peace seems very doable when you're all by yourself in your house, doesn't it? And from what we learn and we know in our experience. Sometimes people get into it with their neighbors. And then they gotta fly their freak flag. I had to practice saying that 3 times fast. Flying the freak flag is tough. But we think so much anger, so much resistance. Well, where does it come from? And rather than just pointing at others, it's always easier, I find, we want to look at ourselves. This is Memorial Day. Many of you have predecessors in your family who fought, maybe were wounded, maybe died, maybe their lives were changed forever, maybe they saw things no young person should ever have to see, and it changed them forever. And you came out with a very strong feeling about war and peace. We still honor the heroes. Many people, many of us, cannot know what it's like to be given a weapon, trained 6 weeks, and sent out there to meet people that are about your own age and with whom you might have been friends in another setting, and then figure out a way to keep living after that somehow. No. I don't know the reason. I know there's a blessing in everything that we do. We say that all the time in Unity. There's a blessing concealed in it. Divine things, as Whitman wrote, are well enveloped. Divine things. But sometimes they're so very much enveloped that we can't see the use of it and don't know how it happened. How did we get where we are with war? And it is terrible. It's not like many of the movies we used to see. Our youngest will be 34 tomorrow. Unbelievable. I remember when he was about 10, I was watching one of those movies that you know you should watch, but you don't want to, because it gives you a taste of some things that we as a collective humankind have created, our own version of hell on earth. I was watching that movie, and it had the stormtroopers, not the ones in Star Trek, but the original ones in it. And Levi walked by, and he saw that I was crying. And he said, "Mama, what's the matter? It's just a movie, isn't it? I mean, these guys aren't real." And I said, then I could say, they were. And now we can say, they are. So all our talks of peace, what do we do when someone drastically disagrees? And they're so stupid about it, too, of course, because who else would disagree with us? Think of them as the challenged people. They just don't get it. Yeah. Things haven't changed. Sometimes the young do know better than we do. We must remember today, in this Memorial Day weekend, who we are, why we fought or thought we did, and what it meant, and what is valuable now. I believe this democracy is valuable. I met a person when I was about 15, and I never forget this person. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Peace Pilgrim. If you heard her, would you give me a wonderful? I knew her. She was my mother's friend, my friend. I have a picture in my kitchen of me standing right behind the seated Peace Pilgrim. She gave up her birth name, adopted the name of Peace Pilgrim. She wore a white men's shirt, Oxford, and a blue tunic that had those iron-on letters, Peace Pilgrim, and a pocket all around the bottom. And on the back it said, walking 10,000 miles for peace. And then it was 15, and then it was 20, and then I think she lost count. Just like in Forrest Gump, walking for peace. She did that all across the country. I said, what do you do if you don't have enough money to eat? She said, I don't eat. I said, would you ask people? She said, no, I never ask. It appears. What do you carry? Here, you have something else with you, extra funds or something? No, I have my ID and a pencil and a comb and an extra hairband, because she wore her white hair back and gathered it. She ate a vegetarian diet, and she said amazing things. She said this: when you find peace within yourself, you become the kind of person who can live at peace with others. We're all cells in the same body of humanity. The way of peace is the way of love. Love is the greatest power on earth. It conquers all things. And she often moved her hands like that when she spoke. It conquers all things. She came and stayed with me when I was serving the church up in Unity of Mount Carmel in Bettendorf, Iowa. She was a guest speaker. Something about her presence that made other things seem not so important. She was majestic. The last time I let her out of the car, where she had asked, I didn't push her out, she wanted to get out there. And I suddenly felt, oh, peace, don't go. I'm concerned about you. And then I realized, remembering that moment, that if you love someone, they're going out the door, you don't say, be careful. You'll say, good journey, or safe journey. And you declare that for them, not the thought of fear. Oh, be careful of traffic. Pull over if it rains. All those things you may think. But I was concerned, and she reached out and touched my arm, and she said, honey, it's all in God's hands. Peace lived another year or two till someone who wasn't watching where the car was going. So when that happens, how do you make peace with that? You say, well, there was another place she had to be, another role she had to take, another task that she had signed up for in the invisible. And that's what she was doing. It was majestic. And every person's journey is a hero's journey. We're all heroes. Nobody knows what somebody else has to deal with. Somebody told me once, and I've heard it many times over the years. They said, I love coming to church, but everybody else there has such a perfect life. They're all in nice little couples, and they're all happy, and they have friends around them, and they dress beautifully, and they have lots of money, and they have pretty cars, and they never are out of a job, they're never homeless, they're never worried, and they never have any diseases. And I said, yeah, that's right. That's not right. I said, what makes them heroes is that they come anyway. They keep coming anyway. And they may look to you like they're in terrific shape, and when you say, how you doing, they may say, great, just great. Their head could be rolling down their arm and across the floor, and they'd say, terrific. That's where we get that old joke about the people of various religions that find themselves in that place we don't believe in called hell. And because Gehenna is a garbage heap. It burns while there's refuse to burn, and then it stops burning. But in the usual Christian story, if you goof up and join the wrong church or don't join the right church, don't get dunked or sprinkled, whatever, then you could end up there. So in this joke, they're talking to each other, and one soul says, well, I'm a Baptist, but I like to dance and drink, so that went. Another one said, well, yeah, I like to gossip, and I can't wait to hear what you all are going to tell me, because I'm going to tell that to other people. And then they asked a Unity person, well, what are you doing here? I thought you didn't believe in hell. He says, well, I'm kind of like that person over there, and there's a Christian scientist, and they're very close to us, sitting in the corner, eyes shut, and they said, hey, what are you doing here? I'm not here. So that's often me, and that's often our way, that we simply deny the appearances. Well, it doesn't help you make peace with them necessarily. You do what works for you. But pretending everything is okay is not the same thing as affirming and knowing it really is okay. And I'll be honest with you, that is much easier if the word plumbing isn't involved. Oh, yes. Everything was lovely the other day when we awoke and the birds were singing and the water was flowing and the toilets were flushing. It was absolutely divine. What could be wrong with that? And then, of course, as soon as the weekend came, by nightfall, when plumbers charged double, everything stopped. And you know what you often do when you have some function you're used to? your electricity. One time we didn't have electricity, there was a storm, and I thought, that's all right, I'll just microwave something. Oh, wait. I guess not. I mean, no. And I realized that when the plumbing isn't working at all, and you're putting bleach in the bucket to mop the floor because, and the plumber gets exhausted and says, I've already snaked 100 feet and nothing. And then you realize, to your great shame, you bought the wrong type of tissue. Don't get the cushy kind. The plumbing doesn't like it. And the plumber says, I'm exhausted. I have to quit now. And you think, don't go. I was going to make espresso. Well, whatever you need, please stay. We love you. You're a son to us. Please stay. But no, he went. So he says there's something going on there. Now that's news you don't want from the doctor or the attorney or your accountant or your plumber. There's something going on there we can't see. We don't know what it is. We have to send the man with the camera. Oh, no, not the man with the camera. And yet, of course, all these are problems are first world problems, aren't they? They're first world problems. Most people in the world don't have clean running water in their home. They don't have the conveniences we have. They don't have air conditioning. And yet they still laugh, tell jokes, have fun, fall in love, have a life. I'm not saying we should live in a tent. I don't like camping. I like glamping. But that involves glamour and portable air conditioner of some sort. But we are looking for peace. And if you ever wonder, well, what would I ever say to anyone that wants to counsel with me about anything? What would I do? Well, one little message from Hebrews 12:14 is strive for peace with everyone. So you start out rather determinedly making peace in your mind with all the people that are hardest to feel peaceful about. You know, the guy you're not going to vote for no matter what, the temple you wouldn't be caught dead in again, the class you hated and had to drop, the partner whose name shall not be spoken, like Voldemort, she who will not be mentioned, one of those. And you make peace with it. Well, how can you do that? It's a terrible person. Did terrible things to me. I know. Because even though we wear the badge of unity, we are unity people, we are positive, alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic about life, and we're great, sometimes we get hurt or apparently ill or worried or scared. And that's when we need peace more than ever. It's easier to sing songs of peace when you're not really in the middle of a real war. Then you find yourself in the middle of something that feels like a real war, and you've got to confront your enemies. Those are your enemies. And it's so maddening when people with whom you don't agree use your own words against you. Well, you said so-and-so. Don't you hate that? And yet, you probably did. It's a tough crowd on planet Earth. Not easy to make peace. Look who tried hard. The Prince of Peace. What happened to him? What about Gandhi, Sadat, MLK Jr., even Joan of Arc, although I guess she did get involved in a little war. We don't like the peacemakers. They take away all our excuses. And yet, peace is not supposed to be for the weak. Peace is for the strong. Peace is for making when nothing else has worked. It doesn't mean you have to put up with the malfeasance that you've been witnessing. It doesn't give you an excuse to blame someone. That's tricky, you see. And very puzzling to me that anti-Semitism seems to have leapt up to this huge percentage. What are we thinking about? Was not our way sure a Jew? Always, never anything else. Went to the temple at least once a year, maybe more often. He learned from Judaism. We borrow from that. I don't know why people want to form a small group of people and hate them. It makes you weak to do that. If you're not someone who would be a good person for a stranger to find, to run into, then you better work on that. You want to be someone who practices and lives in hospitality, in seeing the Christ in others. And start with your relatives. That's where it's hardest, isn't it? It can be. Can be hardest. Why don't they agree? We had all these things worked out, you know. The Vedas had it worked out. Bhagavad Gita had it worked out. Arjuna, stand up, knew how to conquer and make peace. Then what happened? Well, we've lived through purges in Europe, the dreadful scourge of the Passion plays throughout Europe. We've lived through the Inquisition. What a show, right? And the Holocaust. And yes, it happened. And in many ways, it happens still. I talked to Bhante, our dear neighbor, Buddhist monk. He was visiting prisoners who were incarcerated for violent deeds. And they were often of a precarious temperament. Bhante told me one day, he said, I just came from, it was an incarceration place somewhere in the state. He said, I thought the man was going to hit me. I said, you, Bhante? He said, yes, he moved as if to strike me. Oh, Bhante, are you safe? What did you do? He said, I wore him down. So I thought, what an amazing thing. And sometimes when someone is shouting at you, they do the hurricane in the car, ever see about something you did driving or didn't do. Then you look at them like they've made a mistake and don't know it, and you say, oh, I forgive you, you irritating person. Child of God, child of God. It completely disarms them for a moment at least. They think, well, you're crazy. At least they might leave you alone. Peace. Peace told me once, Peace Pilgrim told me that she had taken a ride from someone driving a truck, and she was very tired. She'd been walking all day. It was snowing outside, and she was grateful to be able to sit in the cab, and he went into the truck stop. He came out, and she was asleep. And when she awoke, he was looking at her startled, and she said, what is it? And he said, well, ma'am, I want to be honest with you. When I let you in this car, I didn't have good intentions for you. When I saw that you were asleep, I was reaching out to you. I was going to overpower you. And something happened to me. And I couldn't. And I'll never be the same. We love the stories about soldiers putting their guns down and helping each other, keeping Christmas or keeping the Sabbath. The ideal for the soldier. Serve your highest goal. And even when the war is over, you still serve your highest goal. The trick is to remember the words of Yoda. Angry you must not be. Angry, weak will make you. So we're looking for real strength. And I know it's corny, and I'm old now. I still get startled when I look in the mirror. I was just 18 5 minutes ago. Give peace a chance, right? We still have to. You say, it's impossible. There'll never be peace in the Middle East. Never happen. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is scarcity, let me sow security. Where there's desolation, restoration. Where there's woe, wisdom. Where there's futility, fertility. Where there's deprivation, distribution. Where there's waste, well-being. O divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to consume as to console, to ruin as to renew, to withhold as to share willingly, for it is in good stewardship that we see the deserts bloom, It is in mindfulness that we express our true dominion. In practicing peace, we inherit the earth and tenderly preserve it for generations to come. Well, what will it take to make peace again? One final word, and I want you to receive it as though it was the time when it was written, 1945, by Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, or today. It was on the back of the Daily Word magazine at the close of 1945 in November. Wars do not go on forever. Conquerors and kings appear in a little while, are dust. Recurring spring soon greens the fields they fought upon. Soon this present fighting will be over, and the lights will go up again in the cities and in the minds of humankind. Again, there will be hearts leaping up at a rainbow or a bird's song. Again, there will be laughing children in the streets. The plowing in the spring and the autumn, reaping, will seem good. There will be quiet firesides to sit by of an evening. There will be people to dream and devise, to build, knock down, and build again a little better. There will be love and beauty and faith and growth. Tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, a year, a century, 100 centuries, always, there will be singing and youth setting out in a restless dawn to seek the unattainable and find it, to attempt the impossible and achieve it. Truth will endure and high vision will beckon. There will always be people to carry the light forward, to push out bravely against the darkness. That was called the ultimate victory from silent unity. You are the ones we have been waiting for. Peace. Thank you. I am so grateful for you. People have asked me, how in the world does your church continue at all when you don't have a place for coffee, don't have a place for youth ministry, not yet anyway. And I say, well, we're just doing great. And we are. Spirit is our source. So we take our gifts of love and substance into our hands and we bless them. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Let's stay in this high place as we sing and share our love.
I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I give it gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I give it gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 I give my
And multiplied. Lord, thank you for these endless gifts you lovingly provide. Bless these, our gifts, and let them be divinely multiplied. And so it is. Amen. Now let's rise in spirit and body as we're able. Let's extend our hands and hearts, and I want us to think about all those who are serving in the field, who defend their ideals. May they find a way to see the light in one another and find a way to reach a just and lasting peace. Now together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you. Holy rollers you may be, but good ones. Now let's sing I Choose Love. Let's do it all week.
Go out and shine.